I got the blues, guess you know what I mean. Every morning, every night, I turn out the light, I got the blues.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to, hang on a second, I don't think we're recording. Oh, we are recording. We are recording, that's
excellent.
That's
well,
rubbish,
hey,
isn't it?
yeah,
What a way to start.
Honestly,
hello everybody, oh we're not recording, oh we are.
Sack the technician, I say. Sack the technician.
Oh, there's nothing
Great.
like live podcasting.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's recorded.
yeah. Well, it's difficult for it to be podcasting if it's not recording. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Well, we should really edit that bit out, but
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I like that bit, actually.
Oh, okay, we'll keep it in
It's
there.
probably the most informative bit that we're going to get.
Yes.
It's also completely untrue. So, so it can only go better from now on. Well, Ian, what have you got for us this week?
Well, this is the first.
news.
This is the first podcast that we've done for a while because we were supposed to do one last week.
Yes.
Which was the one that was after the Geraint Watkins gig.
Excellent.
But
Yes.
we didn't do it
No.
because one reason or another. So we're doing it this week instead.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are.
That
We
is
are.
the beauty of podcasting.
Yes,
that
indeed.
If you can't do it, you'll do it next time.
Yes, which we do.
Yes.
And we're doing.
So
now,
here we are. So
what's the news then? Any news?
the news is the next upcoming gig.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of news items actually. So the
Yeah.
next upcoming gig
Yes.
is Blue Dog Hooch
Excellent.
from Lancashire.
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 Now, that is, in the words of Geraint Watkins, way up north.
Way up north.
Way
Yes.
up north, yes. Excellent. So, and what sort of music do Blue Dog Hooch play?
Blues. They play blues.
Excellent. Well, perfect. You've booked the right type of band
Yes.
for the Wirral Blues Club. I like that. Great.
And do you know what? I think the truth of the matter is that they're not a massive name, they're not a big name, anything like that.
Okay.
But they impressed us. They impressed
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
I like that. The fact that they're not a big name, but seeing what they do and how they do it, we like that.
Yeah.
So Blue Dog Hooch it is, and it's not a big price tag.
No, go on.
It's
What is
half the price of what we normally charge.
Go on,
for,
how much?
£7.
it? £7?
£7. Well, plus the booking fee.
Plus the booking fee.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So
how are the
over
bookings going? Because it's next Friday, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
we're
sorry, I should say a week tomorrow it is.
Yeah, we're on target. We're doing. There's plenty of tickets left.
Good.
Available at the moment.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's the week before that most
Yeah,
people buy
that's
tickets
exactly,
anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going okay, and we're looking forward to that.
Right.
So you got two bands on. You have the West Bluesmen.
Excellent, I like them.
In support. I've heard they're quite good.
I've heard them, yes, I heard them last week actually at the Warrington Blues Club.
Oh,
they were
yes.
very good there, weren't
Yeah,
they? Ian?
we'll have a chat about that in a minute.
Yeah, oh, yes,
And so we got them coming.
Yes.
So it is going to be a good gig.
Excellent. What's their lineup?
There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
Pretty standard actually, but sometimes it's the fifth musician.
Exactly.
What does he do?
Exactly.
Because we all know
Yes.
that you're gonna have a drummer,
Yes.
and a guitar player,
Yes.
and a bass player,
Yes.
and a vocalist.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know that's gonna happen.
But it's the fifth man.
The fifth man is what's he gonna play?
Yes.
What is he gonna play? Is he gonna play the piano? Is he
Yeah.
gonna play a harmonica?
Or will it be the saxophone?
What will it be?
Because we've had a couple of saxophones recently, haven't
How
we?
exciting!
Yeah,
I know the answer to it.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, and actually the fact that I put videos out,
Oh,
everyone else will know that if they.
Okay.
He plays a sax.
Yeah.
A sax.
Oh, superb.
Yeah.
Tenor sax. I hope.
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, yeah, he might have several different
He
types.
might
who
have
knows?
several, but he doesn't
Who
have an
knows?
accordion though. Not like Geraint Watkins.
No.
I saw that accordion come out right just before the gig, right, and he didn't play it.
He didn't, did he?
He didn't play it.
Why didn't he
I was
play
getting
it?
excited there. I mean, come on.
Well, if we get him back again, we'll get him to play it, especially.
Definitely. I asked him about that, but
Yeah. Well, that's it. You did ask him about it, and the reason you asked about it because you did an interview
I did an interview with
with
him.
Geraint Watkins, no less.
Yes, I did. I was dropped in that at the last minute
You were.
by a very evil man who's sitting about 3 feet from me at this moment. Yes. But there we are.
The only person sat next is me.
That's true, Ian.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I
evil
say
Ian.
it's me. I'm a very evil man. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yes.
it had to be done.
It had to be done. It was a good idea of yours.
Yeah. But we had an issue, didn't we?
We had a serious technological issue.
Yes.
And again, I blame the technology guy.
Well, so what happened? I took Richmond and Geraint up to a small, quiet room, somewhere in the depths of Thornton Huth Village Hall. Village Club.
Village Club. Yes.
Somewhere, and they sat them down. I gave each of them a microphone.
Yes.
And pressed play on the recorder.
Yes.
Now,
all we had to do.
That's all we had to do was talk into the microphones.
Correct. And I did, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
Whereas Geraint
didn't
quite talk into the microphone.
No, he was sort of using his to polish the table with, I think, while he spoke up in the air. Yes.
So you asked the questions very loudly.
Yes.
And Geraint answered them quite quietly.
He did.
But it's fine. It's fine.
We've learned something.
If you listen to the podcast, if you want to make it sound, like on a level, you need to have your hand on the volume button. And every time Richmond speaks, turn it down. And every time Geraint speaks, turn it up.
Good idea.
Yeah.
We should have subtitles, maybe, in Welsh and English, of course.
But it was a good interview, it was interesting, and it was a bit of fun. So if you'd like to listen to that, here it is.
Here it is.
Well, welcome, Geraint.
Well, thank you.
Very, very lucky at Wirral Blues Club to have the wonderful Geraint Watkins with us. And the Mosquitoes.
He is debatable. But,
no, not at all. We've been desperate to get you to come and play for us. And this man is ultra modest, I have to say. But we know his record and his great past in music. And we're so pleased to have you here at our tiny little village hall.
Lovely. I'm glad to be here.
Well,
it's a beautiful place.
Well, but, I mean, now you're from South Wales, aren't you? Yes, and this is actually very local to you compared with what you have done in travelling in the past in music. Would you not say?
It is, yeah.
You know.
But because we've come, it doesn't feel like it. Because we went to Bristol and then came up here.
Yeah.
So it just seems... to me, it's like we're just going up north.
Well, absolutely. And you know what? People call us north, but we're not really very north. We're more sort of Midlands, aren't we? Compared with
as you were saying, because on the car on the way up, we were busy doing up north accents, and we're failing miserably at it. But it always just struck me. I thought, wow, we're not really going to that. By gum.
We're just going to
Liverpool,
where they don't talk anything like that.
They don't talk anything like that. I wouldn't even pretend. Talking like the Beatles.
So are you currently on a tour then?
Well, no, we've got 3 gigs in a row, which for us is a big tour.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because we normally do one gig there. We've done one in Sweden, one in Norway.
Wow, yeah.
We've done, but they're odd ones. I think this is the first time we've done 3 gigs in a row.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
It could be the start of
and I believe you haven't even had anything to eat tonight.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
it's just the band that's grumbling.
The 2 of them didn't. But 3 of us went to Neston, is it?
Yes.
And we had a kebab.
Ah, very good.
Chicken kebab.
Very good. Yes, local food.
It was.
Well, there's a big Turkish population, in Neston.
Oh, well, there you are. And it was really good too.
Excellent. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Although, had you asked me in advance, I'd have recommended the Chippy in Park Gate, which is nationally famous. Yes, the best chippy in Britain.
They all say that.
I know they do. Yeah. It's not bad, though.
And I had fish and chips last night.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Bristol, and that was really good, too.
Oh, it would be in Bristol,
fish and chips is getting better.
It is.
All over.
It is. Yeah. Now, talking of touring, I know that you toured with my great hero, Peter Green, didn't you?
Right, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And Martin, the sax player, too.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. So what was... I know it was very late on in Peter Green's career. So what was it like? What was Peter Green like?
it was I don't know, interesting.
Interesting, yes.
Because he's obviously, as everybody knows, he wasn't, by then, he was
Yes.
not the Peter Green we knew
No.
in Fleetwood Mac.
No, indeed not.
And,
No.
and when I first met him then, my jaw sort of did go. Because
Yes.
I was expecting to see
Of course.
Peter Green,
Yes, indeed.
like green man Alicia and blah blah,
Yep.
with his black hair,
I know.
looking maybe a naked torso.
Absolutely.
He was like a Greek god, wasn't
Well,
he?
yeah. I mean, he sort of modelled himself a bit on Jesus towards
He sort of
his
was,
worst
wasn't he?
phase.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And you walk and you see him sitting there like,
Yeah.
an old man, really.
Yeah.
Wow. But then playing with him a lot, we did it for a couple of years, I
Yep,
think.
yep.
And of course he's a lovely bloke.
Yes, yeah.
And he was sort of damaged, I suppose.
Yeah,
Outside,
of course.
So you couldn't really.
It-
And now and again he'd play and he'd think, oh, that's Peter Green.
yeah, exactly,
And he'd be
yeah.
like- and then he'd be, and and I don't think he was quite understood my accent. And I could see it. I could see it to him. It sounded like, oh, hello, good friend there. And I'm going, hello, Peter, are you all right? He's going, because he talks like, because he's, it's, I don't know, because he talks like that now.
Yes.
Because he's sort of, he did talk like
Yes.
that. And it's, so
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think he was always a bit
Yeah.
Eastenderish.
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
Quite, yes.
So
Yeah.
we didn't hit it off like Gavin and Stacey. Like. But
Brilliant.
I think we got on all right.
Yes.
And he's great.
But what a great experience, though.
It was great. Just the
even
first,
so.
just once doing Albatross with
Yeah.
Peter Green, you go, what?
Wow.
It's
Wow.
Peter Green.
And you also toured with Bill Wyman, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a lot with Bill
Wow,
Wyman.
fantastic.
About 10 years or more even.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, and that was great.
Yeah, I bet
Because
you
he
it
had-
was.
You had Georgie Fame on organ. Yeah. And I was on the piano. You think, what more do you have? Albert Lee,
Yeah.
Beverly Skeet,
Incredible.
Andy Fair with a load.
Incredible.
Again, it was
Yeah.
Just,
It's such. I mean,
and the sax players and the whole band.
yeah,
Fantastic. Terry Taylor.
fantastic. Now,
Graham Broad. I didn't mention Graham Broad.
yeah,
Drummer,
yeah.
Lovely bloke. They're all great.
Brilliant. What a great experience.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
I mean, when did you start in music?
Well, always, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just when we heard the Beatles, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I didn't start young. I wish, looking back, you think, I should have started when I was about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yep.
Because I think that's when it really,
Yes.
you hear musicians who started that early and they're
Yep.
in a different, they've got to learn something that's gone into their head.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
different. But on the other hand, you have another angle
Yeah.
from when you come at it as a teenager.
Yes.
So we just, it was like they'd say, you only need these 3 chords and you can play all these songs. You go, oh, great. And then
Yeah.
later you go, but you can actually play all these notes as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a bit like how I started, but I didn't progress beyond the 3 chords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful experience. But the other thing I was interested in is I know you play the accordion, and you're interested in sort of French music, aren't you, and Cajun music? Which seems that's
Well, I
unusual.
suppose the French music is
Yeah.
different to the Cajun music,
Yeah.
isn't it? Actual French music.
Sure, yeah.
Because they just speak
French,
in
yeah.
Louisiana, don't
Yeah. Yeah.
they? No, it was just... I had an accordion years ago, just
Yeah.
because it was pretty.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me that you could play it.
Absolutely.
And then I heard, Clifton Chenier and
Yeah.
blah, blah, and you go, wow.
Yep.
Oh, shit, that's good.
Yep.
You
Yep.
do that.
Yep.
So that's how it just came from that. And
Wonderful.
of course, then you didn't have internet and
Yes, exactly.
and all the streaming
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
So it was like when you heard something like Cajun, it was like, what the what is that?
Well,
Yeah.
do you know what?
And you go, even when, first you Dr. John and Professor Long, you go,
Yeah.
holy moly, what is
Absolutely,
this?
it's so different and
Yeah.
so.
And it'd only be
yeah.
on that one rock and roll show that Mike Raven Saturday afternoon.
Oh.
And then,
Yep.
who was the other one? Simmons.
Yeah.
Dave Simmons, was it? Anyway, that
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
And that's where the only place you'd hear
Yep.
Dr. John and,
Yep.
and so on.
Well-
and you go, whoa, what's this?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember I must have been about 14 years old, and I went up to stay in Darlington with my great uncle, and he was a great music fan of all genres of music, and he took me to a world music event, and this would have been in the 60s, early 60s, and it was in Billingham. At Billingham Forum,
Yeah.
and they had a Cajun band on there. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what Cajuns were, no idea. And they
I
came on,
wouldn't.
and I thought, wow,
Yeah.
how brilliant that
Yeah.
is. Of course, I was into all the current rock music of that
Yeah,
period, but
yeah.
when I heard them, I thought, wow,
I
this
know.
is something.
It's something else,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Well, that is wonderful. And so, what's your plans for the future for you and the mosquitoes? Tell us.
Oh, just to survive, I think.
Yeah.
Just do what we do and survive. I mean, we planning on another record.
Yeah.
We've got to do another record soon.
Yes.
And we've got enough. What exactly we're going to do, I'm not sure. We've got enough songs,
Yeah.
but we haven't decided.
Sure.
We got. It's what not to do, I think.
Yeah.
We got plenty that we can do, and you think, well, let's do that one,
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Let's not do those, or maybe they will end up with 2 records before we get out of this world.
Indeed.
alive.
But
Who
you,
knows? But we're definitely gonna do one soon, and then
yeah,
the gigs come whenever they come. Really, we
sure.
try. Malcolm's doing a good job of spreading the word, and we
Yes.
that's why we're up here.
Yeah.
So, and maybe we come back here. We come back to just keep going on because we love doing it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's just the money. I
Yeah,
suppose it's just being able to do it.
yeah,
As long as we're able to do it, we're not going to make a fortune at it.
sure.
But as long as we can just keep it ticking over, we'll do it.
Absolutely,
Forever,
absolutely. Yeah. That's the case with so many. I mean,
Yeah,
I think even people that have made big money out of music, and they're still touring in their 80s,
Yeah.
and you think, why the hell are they doing it? Well, the answer
And
is
the
they
answer
love
is-
it.
It's the same answer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not about the money always,
Yeah.
is it? It's about
Yeah.
loving doing the stuff.
And they just, you
Yeah.
think, what are you going to do? Sit at home?
Yeah, and watch daytime television.
And Carol Woodman's not on anymore.
No, absolutely.
So it's like,
Good point, very good point. But you have an unusual sound because of the varied instruments that you use within the band, don't you? Which are pretty unique.
yeah,
you
we just want to. You don't want to make it too. Just try and mix it up a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to make it entertaining.
Exactly.
We have to stop
Exactly. Well.
talking. We better.
Oh yeah,
get on
we
into
better.
the-
Yeah, of course.
You're needed on stage.
We've forgotten the main reason you're here, Geraint.
Exactly, yeah.
But thank you very much
Yeah.
for talking to us, and thanks ever so for coming to Wirral Blues Club.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
we're
you for having
delighted.
us.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure.
So there we go, the interview with Geraint Watkins.
Yes.
Now, we always say that we're going to make our podcast shorter this week, but this week that's never going to happen because we put that in.
We put that in,
We've
so
got
it's probably
10 or
going to be
15.
longer than ever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got 10 or 15 minutes just there.
Yes. Oh,
So
well.
what was it like? Interviewing Geraint Watkins?
Well, 2 things spring to mind. First of all, I was frankly terrified.
Right.
Because of his fantastic, career in music.
Hang on, so you were starstruck?
Starstruck, that's the word, starstruck, yeah. I mean, flipping heck. But the other thing, really, was that it was a fantastic experience because he was so easy to talk to.
He was, yeah.
Such
That
a nice
comes
man.
across.
Unbelievably modest. can't believe it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, what a career that man has had, and yet he talks about it as though he's just always played in village halls. You know.
Yes, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? What I like about this is the fact that he is how he is.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah.
When you see him on YouTube or when you see him on the many things that he's been on, you know, he is exactly that way. He is.
Yep.
He is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
I'm not saying it at all well.
Well, there's
but
no.
I am trying.
Yeah, there's no airs and graces. He's a great musician, and when you talk to him, it's almost as if he doesn't even realise he is.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely genuine guy.
Yeah,
No fakeness
yeah.
there at all, is there?
No.
No showbiz fakeness.
Not a bit of it. No, not a bit of it. I mean, a man who's played the accordion for Status Quo. I mean, crumbs. You know, that is unique.
Yes.
That is definitely unique.
There's not many people who can say that.
No.
I mean, I can't say that.
No,
In fact,
exactly.
I can't say I play the it's for anybody. 'Cause I can't play it.
Well, you tried the accordion, didn't you? But you couldn't work out where to blow into it. That was the trouble. Still, there we are. Yeah. Good, though. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Excellent, and
Yeah.
it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, the whole concert was great.
Yeah.
It was great from start to finish. Unusual mixture of choices, I think, weren't there?
Yeah.
There was some, you know, fairly standard blues stuff. There was a bit of Cajun music in there.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally veered dangerously towards country sounding, and I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
Every person on that stage was an absolute quality
Oh, yeah.
musician.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Even
What?
the harmonica player.
The harmonica player, yeah. The harmonica player, yeah.
His name Clive Mellor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know him then?
I don't know. I know him now.
Yes.
Because we had a chat.
Yeah.
And he's done lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Makes what I've done look like nothing.
Really?
Yes,
My
absolutely.
goodness, he must be good then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every man on that stage was a pro.
Yeah, they really were, weren't they? Yeah. Amazing. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but I'm in constant state of amazement with my small connection with the Wirral Blues Club. I'm constantly amazed at how good it is. I mean, it's like I remember when I was about 16, 17 years old, going round, you know, venues in Birkenhead and Hoylake, West Kirby, over to Liverpool and so on. Tiny little venues, really great atmosphere, you know, and really quite big names, but you didn't realise it at the time, playing for you. And it's recaptured that for me.
Okay.
You know, the whole ambience of it is really superb. And, you know, obviously I get to talk to a lot of people in the audience, you know, especially when we're waiting for the band to come on and so on, and in the interview. And everybody says the same,
Yeah.
you know, what a great experience it is. Yeah. And people come from all over to it as well. It's not just local people.
No, it's building and building.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, so one week we've got the likes of Geraint Watkins. The next week, you know, we've got Blue Dog Hooch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
now Blue Dog Hooch, I mean, nobody knows Blue Dog Hooch, but it has Blue Dog Hooch. Believe it or not, it has pedigree.
Yeah.
The band has pedigree. You know, the lead guitarist is from the Stumble.
Yeah.
Used to be a guitar player at the Stumble.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe you know, everyone else in the band also has quite some decent history behind them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And £7.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What can you get for £7 now? You can barely get a pint of beer in some places.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I was in Asda the other day and I thought, I'll get some of them Mr. Kipling's
Oh, yes.
apple pies.
Yes.
£3.50.
So really, you could have only got 2 Mr. Kipling pies for the price of a ticket to see Blue
Well,
Dog.
two boxes of.
Well, yeah, 2
yes,
boxes.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know which I'd rather have.
Me too.
I do like Mr. Kipling's apple pies.
I do.
To be honest.
Do you know what I like most about them? Well, I take them when I do all these outdoor shows that I do, and I'm away for a week.
Yeah.
And they never go stale. Presumably they're radioactive.
Yes.
Am I allowed to say that on our podcast?
I'm sure you are. You know,
Yeah.
just let them sue us. We don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, there's something in them that keeps them fresh. Brilliant.
Yeah, because you open them up and they're not in a wrapper or anything.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Just in the box. How
I
do
know.
they do that?
I don't know.
It must
Mr.
be-
Kipling's secret.
It must be all the healthiness.
Yeah.
Within
No,
the
absolutely. Could be the sugar. No, that preserves things
Hey,
pretty
who
well.
knows?
Yeah.
So, just a quick mention of Warrington Blues Club.
Oh yes.
They kicked off their first ever meeting
Yep.
this
Last
week,
week, yep.
and at the Res Bluesmen and Dr. T-Bone Band. We were the ones who went and played the first gig.
You did.
And you know, I must add here that we are not connected with the new Warrington Blues Club in any way other than we're friends.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, Robin Bradshaw, who runs it, I was at school with him.
Yeah.
Not at Eton, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's none of that sort of funny stuff going
No.
on. Yes.
It was Oxford.
So yes, so Robin and I were there. Robin had come to Wirral Blues Club a few times, hadn't he? Very impressed with it. Very disappointed that the original Warrington Blues Club had long ceased to exist, and there were really no live music in Warrington. So he decided to start his own. So he came and consulted the very man you would consult if you're going to start a blues club, and that is, of course, Ian Boyle.
Oh well. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Robin did come to me, and I told him the information that I had. Well, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Because I looked at a lot of the blues clubs in the UK, and I ended up speaking to Bletchley, of all places. Bletchley Blues Club.
They shouldn't give any secrets away, surely.
No, they shouldn't be giving
Bletchley
secrets.
Park Blues Club. I mean, was Alan Turing in that? What did he play? Well, we'll never know.
No. Anyway, so it was Bletchley who gave us a little bit of support at the beginning.
Yeah.
To give us an idea of how to get going, how to get bands, how to get artists, and the amount of experience I've gained in the last sort of 8 or 9 months.
Yes.
You know, but I needed to start somewhere, and Robin did as well. Yeah. And Robin will just go from strength to strength. And
he will. It was well attended, wasn't it?
Yeah, and where it is, right, it's sort of, it's not central Warrington at all. It's in Grappan Hall. Yeah. But it's very populated, so there's quite a
good catchment, isn't there?
Yeah, with Thornton Huff, it's a little harder because people have to really travel. Yeah. To get there.
Yeah. But it's a good venue, isn't it? Really,
okay,
it's not as intimate as Thornton Huff.
I think it's a similar size, isn't it?
It's a similar size, but it's a different shape, and I don't know. It's but anyway, it was good and it was full. Yeah, it was full. Yeah. So I was very impressed, and the two bands were excellent. Obviously, Ethelred's Bluesmen were excellent. That goes without saying.
Oh, stop it.
Dr. T-Bone. Dr. T-Bone. A touch of New Zealand there, wasn't there?
Yes, there is. Yeah, because the thing with the Dr. T-Bone band is that Dr. T-Bone himself isn't in it at the moment. Yes. Because he's not well. So the rest of the band are carrying on. And luckily, the guitar player is a great singer.
He is, yeah.
But normally there would be an extra man. And, you know, they're waiting for him to get better and come back. Yeah. Which also just brings me on to December. Yeah. Where we're having the Christmas special.
Oh, Christmas special.
Yes, it's the Dr. T-Bone Christmas special.
Excellent.
Once again, supported by Ethelred's Bluesmen.
Well, it'll be a good night, without a doubt. With or without the specialness.
We've got to learn some new songs. We're just trying to learn new songs. So that's happening. That's happening, obviously, the beginning of December. Yeah. But Thursday, the 2nd of November. There's a lot of dates. Get your pens out and paper. There's a lot of dates going on here.
Are you sure you meant to say Thursday?
Yes, Thursday, the 2nd of December. Yeah. We have a new blues night. Oh. Yeah. Well, it's not at Thornton Huff. Right. It's at the Brewers Arms in Neston. Oh. Right. So Paul contacted me and asked me to recommend bands and or run a blues night. So at his pub. Yeah.
So are there going to be several bands then?
So we play there, you know, occasionally anyway. Yeah. So we play there usually like every month and a half, something like that. but there's going to be more regular blues there, and we're just sort of starting something off. So it's the 2nd we have. Do you remember the Shade Tree Mechanics?
Yeah, they
so
were great.
we recommended the Shade Tree Mechanics.
Excellent.
So they're going to be playing at the Brewers Arms a week on Thursday.
Yep.
And then towards the end of the month, I think it's the 28th or something around there.
Yeah.
We've got Phil Chisnell and Sammy Boy Wilkinson playing there.
Oh.
So another Wirral Blues Club recommended band.
Absolutely. Well, they're all good.
So because the thing is, everybody still want, we need to, one of the things that's one of the problems we have at Wirral Blues Club is that we want to be able to support local artists.
Yes.
And we want to try to create a blues scene.
Yes.
And we also want to have national artists and international artists.
Of course. Difficult once a month.
Yeah, exactly. And
could
once
take
a month.
Could take a century. Yeah.
So we kind of we're trying to bring in other venues.
Yeah.
To try to create more blues gigs for people.
Yeah. So sort of satellite centres.
Yeah. So we're kind of running it and recommend.
Yeah.
We're running it in conjunction.
Yeah. It's
with Paul at the Brewers Arms at the moment, and we are looking for other venues who might be interested.
Yeah.
Because I have literally every day I have bands contacting me wanting to play every day.
Right.
And I understand what that's like, because for a long time I've sent emails and sending messages to people. Can we go and play at your club? Can we go and and you're just one of many.
Of course.
And we need more venues for these to play.
Yeah. So sort of Wirral Blues Club associates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's
Great idea.
That's quite big news.
Yeah, that is actually big news. My God, the whole of Wirral will be taken over, won't it?
And the workshops.
Yes.
Oh, goodness me, this podcast lasting forever. The workshops we've got going on. So that's happening also on the 2nd of November.
Crumbs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So 3rd of November.
Yeah.
1st of November. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I should know when this is.
Well, you should really.
Well, I had it. Hang on a sec. So the 2nd of November. Right. So that'll be the 1st of November.
Yeah.
The 1st of November at Mayor Hall.
Mayor Hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So unfortunately, we cannot bring you on into the workshops any more guitar players. So the guitar players. What we realised is the first set of workshops, and we've got plenty of guitar players. But it was as much as we could handle.
Yeah.
So they've started, and we thought, well, we'd be able to take on more or whatever, but we just can't.
No.
So at the present crop of guitar players are what we're just sticking with for the moment.
Wow. It's astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just amazed.
And we hope to do more, moving on. In the future. That. However, harmonica players,
right? Yeah.
If you want to learn to play harmonica, if you want some, harmonica workshops, we can take on more people.
Great.
I've got room for another 10 harmonica players.
Really? Oh, well, that's good news. That's really good news.
Yeah. So if you want to learn to play harmonica, diatonic harmonica or blues harmonica, which is it's not just blues harmonica. It's many genres, because everything melts into the same in the end.
Yeah.
If you're going to learn to play harmonica, well, you don't want to be starting with,
yes,
a big blues number, Stormy Monday or whatever. You don't be starting there. You need to be starting with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Yes, and Frère Jacques.
Frère Jacques, yes.
Yeah. On
exactly.
the bridge, sur le pont d'Avignon.
But you have to start somewhere.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. Yeah.
And do you know the biggest problem I had?
Go on.
With harmonica players?
Yeah.
Most important thing is you need a decent harmonica.
Yes.
A decent harmonica.
Yeah.
A couple of people turned up with decent harps, decent harmonicas.
Yeah.
Most people didn't.
Oh.
And
yet you on the website you do emphasise this, don't you? And you do suggest some good ones, which are not hugely expensive.
No, but I kind of understand because people say, well, I've got this harmonica already.
Yeah.
And if you don't play, you don't know.
Yeah, and
But the harmonica you've got already isn't good enough.
And presumably a lot of them weren't in the key that you recommended.
No, they were. Everyone had one in the right key, so that was good.
Oh, were they?
That was good.
I am astonished. I'm astonished.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that was absolutely fine. So I'm hoping there's some new harmonicas with the people who came last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we're going to have some new harmonica players to come and join in.
So when's the next session then?
So it's at Mayor Hall, and it starts at 7 o'clock on the Wednesday, the 1st.
Wednesday, the 1st of November.
That's the one.
Good. That's
the one.
Oh, well, that is interesting news.
Such a lot of news.
I'll say.
Can't
Crumbs.
keep up with it all.
No, I know. It's lucky it's only once a month.
Isn't it?
Or this is once a week, of course.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. How
So-
can there be so much news
I
about
don't
such
know.
an old genre of music?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like me coming in and say, have you heard the latest about George Frederick Handel?
Right, so without further ado,
Yes.
it's time for the Artist of the Week. Play
Artist
the
of the
jingle.
Oh, yes.
Featured Artist of the Week.
Okay, so there we go.
There we
Featured
go.
Artist of the Week jingle played.
Yes.
Who are we talking about this week?
Well, this is our, I was going to say oldest, well, she's long dead, but this is a sort of double first. It's the earliest blues artist that we've ever featured.
Gosh.
That's our first. And our second first is, it's our first female blues artist.
Two firsts.
Two firsts.
Two
And
firsts.
it is Gertrude Rainey, better known as Ma Rainey. Okay. Now, of course, all blues artists have a nickname, don't they? And her nickname was Ma. And, you know, it's very, very difficult often to work out how did they get that nickname, you know. But yes, Ma Rainey, I shall explain. Well, she was born Gertrude Pridgett. Right, it's not very bluesy, Gertrude Pridgett, I have to say, but you know, there we are. She was born in 1886, but she died young. Possibly not young for someone born in the 1880s, but I think by our standards today, young. She was only 53 when she died in 1939, so she truly is our earliest blues artists that we featured, because most of them sort of started off musically in the 40s, had a sort of best period in the 50s, a bit of a renaissance in the 60s, and then so on, usually ending in tragedy. Yes, but yes indeed. But she first started performing as a teenager in the, like so many black Americans, particularly women, in the First African Baptist Church. And of course she was singer in the choir there, but she also performed, much to the horror of her parents, with a black minstrel show as well. Now there was, even if you go back to the late 19th century, there was quite a bit of ambivalence about the idea of a black minstrel show.
Yes.
And of course that controversy was still raging in the 60s with the so-called black and white minstrel
And the
show.
70s.
And the 70s.
Yes, I remember.
Really?
I remember that, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know it went on that long.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she claimed, however, that she first heard blues music round about 1902, which is really early, isn't it, for that? I mean, Ian, you know more about this than I do.
Well, I
but,
don't know about that, but
you know,
that is extraordinary. Well,
yeah.
No, is it?
You know, of course, we know the roots of blues music, but whether it was sort of universally heard, but I don't know.
And it's never it wasn't going to be commercial, very commercial.
No,
was it?
exactly.
So,
yeah,
you know,
so it would have been live. It would have been some possibly unknown, person doing it. Yeah. So in 1904, she married William Rainey. Now he was also a musician.
Oh, Will.
Yeah, Will Rainey. Yeah, you know Will Rainey. Yes, right. Okay. Now, his nickname was Pa Rainey. So, of course, she became Ma Rainey.
Right.
So that is the origin of her nickname, in fact. So she became known as Ma Rainey. In 1906, they joined Pat Chappell's Rabbit's Foot Company. Right? Okay. Now that's a blues band, you know.
Yes.
They were billed as blackface song and dance comedians, jubilee singers, and cake walkers. So there you go. Have you tried billing yourself as that?
No, I haven't actually.
No.
I'm probably not going to either. But...
No, possibly not. But they later formed their own band, amusingly named Rainey and Rainey, the Assassinators of the Blues. Now that's a great name. You're going to get no bookings with that name, aren't you? The Assassinators of the Blues. I love it. Somebody should take that name up again. I can think of a few bands actually that should do. I've often called a few bands that name. Well, the Raineys actually separated in 1916, so they weren't married for long, only 10 years. But Ma herself began a close and possibly intimate relationship with a fellow blues artist.
Get away.
Right? Now, you're all guessing who it was. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Because we're trying to keep this short.
Yes.
It was Bessie Smith. So, yes. So Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey were probably intimately engaged with one another.
Okay.
So
See, in this day and age, that's not a thing, is it?
no, absolutely, but then it was.
Yes.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
When I say not a thing, what I mean is that nobody thinks anything of that sort
Yeah,
of
indeed. Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, quite so. But then I imagine it would be quite frowned upon,
Yes.
particularly amongst the sort of Protestant Christian society that they both lived in.
Yeah.
So anyway, but however, at that point, Ma Rainey's recording career took off, and she was actually one of the earliest blues artists to record regularly.
Right.
I mean, you know, by a studio, rather than one of these sort of roving recording folk, you know, historians who went out and sought out blues singers in obscure places around Southern America. And so Ma Rainey actually began a recording career, which was pretty unusual, particularly because she was a woman,
Right.
and particularly because she was a lone woman.
Yeah.
So that makes her unique, really. Her best known numbers are perhaps not so well known these days, but Boll Weevil Blues, Moonshine Blues, but perhaps most famous of all, and one which is still played currently by a number of bands, CC Rider.
Okay.
So, you know, they are ones. They were all recorded in the early 20s. Over the next 5 years, she recorded a further 100 numbers. So that's pretty impressive, even by today's standards, you know, that in a 5-year period, 100 different, songs recorded. No, probably not these days. These days, people just record any old stuff of themselves, don't they, on the internet? But, what I mean is, she made records.
Yeah.
Over the next 5 years, that's what she did. She including classic blues standard Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Have you ever seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom?
I haven't seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
No. Have you ever played it?
I definitely haven't played it.
No, indeed.
I've not heard it either, actually.
No, okay, well, it's worth listening to. I played it a few times on my blues show with Vintage Radio, but
I'll see if I can find a copy of it on YouTube, and then I can embed it into the into the website.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be very good.
The podcast, yeah.
But she not only sang the blues, she performed in vaudeville, and she was a jazz vocalist with both Tommy Dorsey, and his big band, and Louis Armstrong. So she was, way up there, highly respected as a musician, particularly as a singer, even with big, successful, jazz bands. So her career was centred on touring until 1935, when she retired from performing, and she ventured into, much like yourself, Ian, ventured into management and running blues clubs.
That's right.
So that's what she did. So she did this in Georgia, and she did this right up to her death, which was of a heart attack. So no long lingering diseases, no being murdered, nothing like that, no drug addiction, alcoholism or anything. She just died of a heart attack, sadly, in 1939 at the very young age of 56. Posthumously inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. as well as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ma Rainey's music is well worth a listen to. It's because we're used to a sort of faster, more upbeat blues, really since the sort of British blues explosion of the 60s. When we listen to this early blues, it's sometimes at first you might think it's a bit hard going. It would be like going from Bob Dylan to sort of Lancashire folk music circa 1800, you know, and it's a bit of a jolt, but well worth listening to. And it's amazing how much of her stuff you will recognise from later 60s or 70s bands, British bands playing.
Do you mean licks and chord progressions and all that
both
sort
of
thing?
those, and even whole songs redone, sometimes renamed, you know, but just change of tempo, and different instrumentation, but it's there. I've always meant to do on the radio a program really showing this, you know, how these very early and sometimes quite unpalatable, you know, numbers have been sort of, if you like, sanitized for, you know, modern day listening. It's an interesting history, really. But there we are. So that's Ma Rainey for you. So,
brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that, Richmond.
Well,
so we've so that's another artist.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Done. Yeah. I'm going to do a few more female blues artists, I think, because they have. I mean, it was hard enough for black males to make it in the world of music at that sort of period. Or, well, that sort of period, anything pre-1960s, really. But for women, and as early as the 1920s, it's nigh impossible. You think of the you know, the sort of famous winners, Ma Rainey, obviously, you know, Bessie Smith. They were incredibly powerful and almost domineering figures in the world of music, and they didn't stand any messing whatsoever, you know, and it was their force of personality as well as their sheer talent that got them through. But it must have been a hell of a struggle in reality for them, particularly at first. I mean, Bessie Smith, who I hope I will deal with in a future podcast, I mean, in the end, when she became wealthy enough, she bought her own steam train and railway carriage, which she lived in when she was on tour, because it was impossible for her to stay at any venues sort north of the Mason-Dixon line, shall we say, you know, when she was performing, because black people were not allowed to even stay in the hotels. So she had her own luxurious, much better railway carriage, a bit like the Queen, you know. So there you go. Anyway, we'll talk about her in the future.
Mine of information.
Yes. So, there we are, Ian.
Wonderful. Well, I think that's going to conclude today's podcast because it's quite long.
Is that, what's that? 2.5 hours was that? Yeah. We can edit it down to about 2 hours, I would think.
Easily. Yeah. And so, but it's been a good one.
Yeah.
Been a good one.
A lot of news.
Yes. And so we're going to be back next week with a bit of luck, God willing.
Yep.
And that is just before the Blue Dog Hooch gig. Is that correct? Yes, it is.
The day before.
The day before, so we'll have another look at that. And then...
so get your tickets.
Get your tickets, yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you get your tickets early, I don't mean to whinge.
No.
I don't mean to whinge.
I'm not whinging. You're not a whinger, no.
I'm not a whinger, you're
no,
quite
you're
right.
Not, you're absolutely not. No.
Quite right.
Yeah.
But it's really useful for us to know fairly early just how many people are coming to the gig.
Yeah, well, yeah. It saves that anxiety, doesn't it?
But it's not so much that. It's because the club needs to know how many bar staff it needs.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
And so the manager of the club, Neil, you know, he needs to put on the bar staff for the night. And of course, his bar staff are sort of like, well, do they need me or not need me? Do they need me or not need me? And
they like a bit of warning.
Yeah, so if we've only got sort of 10 tickets sold a week before, and then we got 70 tickets sold, you know.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Now, I know that's you know, people might say, well, you know, normal pubs have that problem all the time. They're not, you know, it's not, but But this is slightly unique because it's run by so many volunteers and things. So
yeah, exactly. That's the key thing, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, and pubs get to know which nights are busy and which are not.
Yes,
and so
that's
they can
correct,
predict
yeah.
it. But because Wirral Blues Club puts on different acts each month, they just don't know, do you? Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next week.
Guess you know what I mean. Every morning, every night, I turn out the light. I get